Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now in this video, I'm going to be talking about something different. In my previous one, I talked about my best tips for losing fat and building muscle, but I want to talk about how I got to that point of being 114, 115 kilos in the first place. The reason why, obviously, how I got to that place was because I ate. And the problem was I was eating every single day. I was eating way too much food. I was binging on food. Now, when I say binge, I meant I was eating pretty much everything. I could not stop eating. So all I did was eat, and I just felt like once I started eating, I could not stop eating. And I did that every single day during the lockdown. I was just cooking food and eating it non-stop. Once I started eating, I just couldn't stop myself. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that are going through the same thing or have been through the same thing. And I want to talk about how I got out of that and why I never want to go through that path again. I stopped going down the rabbit hole of eating food. Now, what is that? So that's pretty much when you start a new diet or you're on a plan or some kind of healthy plan of eating and you mess up you eat something you're not supposed to eat, like a chocolate bar or a cake or something, anything. And what happened to me was I just felt like this day is done. I screwed up, and then I just ate and ate and ate because I just thought I messed up a little bit, might as well screw up the whole day and I can start the next day again. And that's pretty much what happened every single time. So every time that I would screw up, I would eat. I would just let loose and eat everything that I could. Even though I was trying to eat healthy, I would just be like, I'll just start again tomorrow, or I'll just start again on Monday. And this happened every single time. And then every single time I was like, I'll start again on Monday. I'll start again tomorrow morning. I'll be strict from next week. And it doesn't work. The moment you eat something, you screw up and you go down a rabbit hole of eating more and more food you're not supposed to, it doesn't stop. It didn't stop for me. Like, even if I screwed up just a little bit, I would be like, I messed up. Time to eat everything. And I would eat so much food. I just wouldn't stop eating and eating and eating. I stopped looking at it as a day-to-day calorie thing. And now I look at it as a weekly basis. So let's say I'm counting my calories. That's what I'm doing now. And I eat something I'm not supposed to eat. I don't just let loose anymore. What I do is I just make up for it the next day. I don't let loose anymore. I just enjoy that meal. I accept that I've had that meal and I just go back to doing what I was doing before. I don't jump off completely. I don't let myself loose. I eat it. I accept it, I enjoy it, and then I move on. That brings me to my next point. Count calories. You have to count calories. Even when you're binging, I found this helped me so much, counting calories. So if you're about to binge or you feel like you want to eat a lot of food, just get your phone out. If you use MyFitnessPal, or even just write it down. But I used to get my phone out and looked at the calories, looked at how much food I was going to eat. And I was going to eat it anyway, but just putting it in my phone and looking at the calories, it just keeps me accountable for tomorrow. Let's say I eat something I'm not supposed to eat. That's maybe 600 calories. I stop, I eat it, and then I stop. And then the next day, I just reduce my calories by 300. And then the next day, I reduce it by 300. And then I bring it back to normal the day after. So it's all balanced out. I stopped looking at it as a day-to-day thing, and it's helped me so much. If I mess up, I accept it, and then I just make up for it the next day. And I make sure I'm hitting my calories for the week. So count calories. Another thing that calories help me do is counting calories. Sometimes it just put me off. So if I was about to eat a bag of chips, and then I scanned the barcode using MyFitnessPal and looked at the calories of the whole bag of chips that I was going to eat, I realized that it was a lot of calories. It was an insane amount of calories. Now, since I count all my calories for all my meals, my typical meal is around 400 calories, and it fills me up. It really fills me up. So just looking at a bag of chips, looking at the calories it has, and just realizing that it's not going to fill me up even if I eat this. It just made me click in my head that maybe I shouldn't be doing this. If I want to binge, there are better foods that I could be binging. So always count calories before you binge. Before you binge. So before you're about to eat something, just put it in, write it down, make sure you count the calories. So that brings me to my next point and my last point. Eat foods that you enjoy. Now, I've said this a lot of times before, but you have to enjoy the foods that you are eating. Now, how I got away from binging all the time was I didn't just stop binging all of a sudden. So instead of binging on a packet of chips and all these junky, high calorie foods, what I started doing was I started binging on low calorie dense foods such as vegetables, such as fruits, and that honestly changed so much for me. So instead of having a bag of chips, instead of having a jar of peanut butter, I was making myself stir fry, like tofu stir fry, and just choosing healthier foods that I could still binge on, but it would still satisfy me and I would still be happy. It didn't happen overnight. I just started choosing more healthier foods, more low calorie dense foods. And once I started cooking foods, making foods, realizing what foods that I actually like, I started enjoying those foods much more. So I went from binging on a lot of unhealthy foods to eating foods that I actually like because they're low calorie dense foods, which means they're high quantity and they have low calories. So if you look at how much calories a bag of chips has and compare it to how much calories stir fry has, or how much calorie a bunch of fruits has, the bunch of fruits and the stir fry is going to fill me up so much more than a bag of chips, and it has less calories. So go for low calorie dense foods, and over time you're going to be choosing foods that fill you up for less calories. That's what helped me sort of get away from the path of always binging. And now I still enjoy food. I still love food, and I eat foods that I enjoy. You don't want to be eating foods that are high in calories and don't fill you up at all. You want to eat foods that are high quantity, like vegetables, fruits, and all these other foods, high quantity foods, but have less calories. You want to eat low calorie dense foods. And I really hope this helps you guys, because this has helped me. Doing this has helped me. And remember, you have to enjoy what you do. The more you restrict yourself, the harder it's going to be for you, the more you're going to binge. So don't restrict yourself. Experiment with different foods, try out different foods, cook different foods, and do not restrict yourself, because that's just going to make it worse. So don't restrict yourself. Enjoy the foods that you eat and don't go down a rabbit hole. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next one.